In this room, almost every night over the last few months, we've had conversations about saving lives here in Los Angeles. The ways that we all can do things that help our fellow residents of Los Angeles to stop a health pandemic and to make sure we mitigate the economic suffering that has come with that. But in the midst of those two fights, we also saw so visibly, so powerfully, so painfully, the march forward for racial justice in America and the need for us to have racial equity and parity in our country. And so today on Juneteenth, I'm very excited to be with city leaders who together are making sure that Los Angeles leads, not just in saving lives in response to a virus, not just in saving livelihoods in response to economic devastation, but to look at what we know, that racism is also a public health crisis in America. And each one of us has a role to play, most notably through your elected representatives and your city hall, a place that represents the very best of this city, that has been the place where people come to debate, to argue, to work together, to build coalitions, and always to march forward. So I'm proud to be joined by so many of our city's African American commissioners, men and women who together in this city every day without pay volunteer their time to do things like oversee our police department and fire department, to make sure that the ships arrive and the planes land, to make sure that culture and arts and libraries, our zoo, our recreation and parks, our human relations, and so much more get done and are represented by the people of LA that reflect us in our sense of belonging for all people. Today, we're going to take some brave and bold steps forward to achieve racial justice and equity and parity here in Los Angeles. And we've come here for a clear reason. We want to meet this moment and not miss this moment. We want our reach to exceed our grasp, to go beyond what we think is possible, to make sure that we don't just say the words that we all feel about racial justice, but that we enact them in every corner by shining a light, by measuring, by holding accountable your city government, both internally and externally, to do the work of justice every single day. This is not a new fight for us. We have integrated the sense of this across gender equity, standing up for immigrants, and making sure now racial justice too must be not an issue area or something that a few people specialize in, but something that we all own, that the work of anti-racism is a daily task. Not what have you done for me yesterday, but what are you doing today, and what do you envision tomorrow? Meeting that mission and that vision requires hard work, and that's what we're doing. I said at the beginning of these crises we would never stop working, and we haven't. And I want to thank our commissioners and so many community leaders and young people with whom I've been conversing every single day, not just on the streets, but here in City Hall, in churches, on Zoom calls, and other places where we can hear the pain of this moment, hear the perspectives that come from centuries of prejudice, and do the work we need to move forward. But it begins with us, the leadership at City Hall. That's why today, in just a few minutes, I'll be signing an executive directive on racial equity in our city government. The first time that we've seen this ever in the city of Los Angeles, and something I hope that will be a model throughout the country. We want to ensure that the starting line is the same for everyone. That people of color, that women, people with disabilities, that our LGBTQ community and veterans are met with equal opportunity. This represents a very vital step forward, one which is critical to turn this moment of anger and pain into a movement of progress and equality. We all know that racial justice has the deepest roots in this country. I call it our second original sin after our first one with our Native brothers and sisters. And we still feel and see its legacy everywhere. I want to stop here, and we're going to take a shot first before I go on of all of the commissioners that are on the call. Because due to COVID-19, we can't all stand together in the power of folks surrounding me, but we're doing that virtually. And these are the leaders of your city. So I'm going to ask if we can go to that shot and ask all of our commissioners to wave to the public that is watching to our city, and to the press that is with us here today. Thank you again for all of your service and everything you do, and you'll be hearing from a few of those commissioners in just a moment. But the work that we do today is to get not just to the acts of individual racism, which now, with a new Department of Civil and Human Rights, there is an accountable place to go, whether you're a visitor, whether you're somebody who works in Los Angeles, or whether you live here and this is your home. But we also have to get not just at acts of individual racism, but systemic racism. I was asked the question in a press conference the other day, do I believe that systemic racism exists, and what is it? Well, of course it does. The system of racism was set up as just that, a system. It started with slavery, that continued through Jim Crow, that exists in boardrooms and in workplaces, it exists in schools, it exists in government and in policies and procedures that have been with us for centuries. We know that Black Americans have not had the same opportunities to build up family wealth, and today the statistics don't lie. I've always said during this pandemic I would tell you the hard truths, and I've done that during this racial crisis as well. That there's 17,000 average dollars in an average Black household in their wealth, where it's 171,000 for an average white household in America. That we've seen the way that discrimination prevented Black GIs from being able to get homes when they came back from World War II. How redlining or covenants that you see still in the history of this city, where Black Americans, together with Mexican Americans, Jews, and others, literally could not live in neighborhoods, Japanese American brothers and sisters as well. But we've seen that Black Angelenos and communities of color have been profoundly harmed by this redlining, by this racist covenants, by discrimination, by unconscious bias that's in our systems, in our institutions, and unfortunately, in too many hearts as well. It's clear that when you consider that just 9% of our county is Black, but at least 1 in 3 of our people that are experiencing homelessness in LA County are Black. You look at it in the poverty rate of Black Angelenos, which is 27%, when it's just over 11% for white Angelenos. And the heartbreaking fact that Black babies are 3 times more likely to die before they turn 1 than a white baby here in Los Angeles. These numbers don't lie, but they do more than hurt. They call on us to do something. And we can't reverse the sins of history with the snap of a finger or overnight, but we can face up to hard truths and push ourselves to go faster and firmer forward than we ever have before. And the city has an opportunity to do that right now, as does the state of California. As I hope the Senate passes what the Assembly already approved with Assembly Constitutional Amendment number 5, and place on the ballot this fall the abolition of Proposition 209, which has rediscriminated against Blacks and communities of color by outlawing affirmative action in California for over 2 decades. It is time for us to reverse that, so that government agencies and educational institutions, so that our contracting and hiring can make right what is still wrong in this state and in this country. We don't know exactly how the effort to repeal Prop 209 will play out. I'll certainly be campaigning strong, should it be approved, to make sure that it passes. But today, we need to prepare for the possibility of a better and changed landscape, which is why I'm signing an executive directive that, among other things, asks for all of our city departments now to prepare for the repeal of Proposition 209. All city departments, as of today, will begin planning affirmative action programs in our recruitment, hiring, training, and personnel policies. And these new policies will not be implemented, of course, unless Proposition 209 is repealed. And I hope that all of us will actively work with our neighbors and friends in our workplaces through our networks to make sure that that important proposition passes when it gets on the ballot. But my action today will make sure Los Angeles isn't caught flat-footed in November, that suddenly, if it does pass, we start talking, thinking, looking at how we can put affirmative action into the operations of our city. This will allow us to move on that first day as soon as what I hope the good news of its passage will be. And we're going to undertake a rigorous study of any disparity in hiring, promotion, and contracting, which is required by federal law prior to implementing affirmative action. But we know we have lost ground. We see it in fewer Black students in our universities. We see it in the way that contracting has moved backwards, providing fewer opportunities for small local businesses that are trying to become medium and large-sized businesses. And currently, our city charter places limits on the kind of preferences that can be given in contracting. So we must also prepare for changes to be made here in the city, which is why I'm calling on a charter amendment on a future ballot to allow for our city to implement affirmative action if Prop 209 is repealed in our contracting as well. With this change, if ratified by voters, we will give preference to minority-owned businesses and other underrepresented groups in our city for contracts. And that will extend the reach of opportunity to all of our communities. I'm so hopeful that you will join me in this fight, that you will be a part of marching forward, repealing what was wrong in the past and making sure what is right in the future. Right now, long before we even get to November, we're going to double down, though, on our efforts to promote equity within our own government. So let me briefly walk you through what this executive directive will also do. Executive Directive 27 will require that every general manager and every head of a department or office will be required to name a racial equity officer, the person who will be tasked with developing and overseeing the department's racial equity plan. This comes from a successful blueprint, Executive Directive 11, in which we attacked gender equity in our city. We did the studies, we looked for the inequality, and we did something about it. And we created a living network across every single department. Again, not to say that equity was the responsibility of a couple people working over here, but that it was a prism through which we should refract every policy, every plan, and all of our personnel decisions in the city. These plans that each department will develop will spell out the department's existing policies around recruitment and hiring, training, retention, promotions, and contracting, and describe efforts to attract, promote, and hire from a robust pool of qualified candidates. To promote diversity, departments and offices will be encouraged to consider a wide range of factors in hiring, like the adversities that a candidate has overcome, their first-generation graduate status in their family, neighborhood demographics and circumstances, and leadership potential. Simply put, we can't leave brilliance on the sidelines. We can't keep perspectives away from the way we plan our city. And there are departments that have been working very hard in the past few years together with me to do just that. For instance, our Department of City Planning, to make sure that we have planners that come from communities and that look like our communities as well. How can you do planning in a neighborhood that somebody's never lived in? Other departments have done that as well. We've reinvigorated hiring programs and recruitment programs of African Americans and other disadvantaged groups in our fire department, police department. Item that were in our budget that disappeared after the Great Recession, but that I put back as part of this administration and this council's work. Together, each one of these racial equity officers in each department will form a racial equity task force of the city of Los Angeles. This will be made up of these department representatives and representatives from my office and city council offices to help keep these strategies moving, continue to develop new goals and for diversity and equity programs. And because we are looking to create a greater culture of inclusivity across the board in city government, every employee will participate in annual mandatory training in implicit bias, training that will be developed by our personnel department to make sure the money that we pay because of racial discrimination lawsuits, the brilliance that we leave on the sidelines when we don't look to promote, the things that we do that are holding our city back, that we can go inward and not just find the enemies outside of us, but find that within each one of us as well. This executive directive is one step, and we have a lot of work to do to correct the inequities that are baked into a system much bigger than just the city of Los Angeles. But LA will lead. Make no mistake. We will be the ones who march into a better future with our flag raised, with our hearts open, and with our actions mirroring the words we hear on the streets. If there's one thing that the demonstrations for racial justice have done, it's to lay bare the urgent and overdue demands to end structural racism and to right the wrongs of the past. Los Angeles is a city of dreamers and doers. We both think about the future and then we make it happen. I want to turn now to somebody who is going to play a critical role in this work. And as part of this executive directive, we're creating the city's first Chief Equity Officer in our history. The woman who will be our city's first Chief Equity Officer is none other than my Deputy Mayor of Economic Opportunity, Brenda Shockley. For those of you who don't know, and she is very well known throughout Los Angeles, for more than 2 decades, Brenda served as the president of Community Build, which she helped found in 1992 to revitalize South LA in response to the civil unrest and uprising. It's because of her deep experience, her profound commitment to serving underserved communities, that all she's achieved since joining my team in 2016, that I knew she was the right woman for this job. And she will be Los Angeles' first Chief Equity Officer, making sure that we bring racial justice to everything we do, how we serve people externally, how we operate internally, and how we can be an example to this country and this world. That's in addition to her duties as Deputy Mayor. But if anyone has the heart and the stamina and the brilliance for this work, it's Brenda Shockley. So with that, I'll turn it over to her. Brenda.
Thank you, Mayor Garcetti. I am honored to serve as the city's first Chief Equity Officer. I welcome this opportunity to continue to fight for racial equity and equal opportunity and against systemic racism and injustice. I am proud to work for an administration that recognizes it must start at City Hall if Los Angeles is to become a model of racial fairness. Executive Directive 27, Racial Equity in City Government, is a much needed and valuable tool and a way to truly identify and measure progress toward a fair and equitable Los Angeles. You have beautifully described all of the components in Executive Directive 27. And I would only add that in addition to the officers and the task force and the action plans, you have also ordered and directed a hiring study that will establish a baseline for the city and its own racial equity goals, but it will also be an important foundation to prepare the city for the repeal of Proposition 209. And thank you again.
Thank you so much, Brenda, and appreciate the work that you have done, are doing, and will do for our city. Next, I want to introduce a great leader in our city as well, a general manager who is been doing an amazing job, not only as somebody who is the head of the Bureau of Contract Administration, but who has also headed up our Economic and Workforce Development Department. One of the few general managers I know who headed up 2 departments at the same time. But the Bureau of Contract Administration, which is responsible for everything from our large public works contracts to our Office of Wage Enforcement, when we raise the minimum wage, making sure that people's wages weren't stolen. John Reamer has been a champion of economic justice, of building big things in our city, and making sure that we look through the lens of equity in everything that we do. I'd like to turn it over to him and thank him for what he's done, from job training to workforce development initiatives, from enforcing wage and contracting laws, and making LA truly a city of angels. Mr. Reamer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the opportunity to follow your lead as we meet history. It is said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. The troubling images of Black men and women who have tragically lost their lives communicate loudly and clearly that the issue of race still plagues our community and country. We need a different picture, a picture that clearly communicates change. Your Executive Directive number 27 recognizes the realities of how Black people are viewed by some. It starts to replace the current picture with one that addresses the importance of racial parity, fair and equitable treatment, and opportunity for all people. This new picture does not limit itself to the obvious area. This new picture realizes the need for change and the demand for equity that spans policing, personnel, and procurement practices. This new picture refuses to abandon the importance of discussing race. This new picture demands that data influence the decisions and direction regarding change. Change that leads to equitable treatment and opportunity for all. This new picture partners with the executive directors of the various departments of the City of Los Angeles to ensure accountability and demonstrate the benefits that come when equity is defended and demanded for all. The picture you leave today by signing this executive directive will say more than words ever could. It affirms lifting voice as we can sing. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, John, and thank you for your brilliance and your work and your passion and everything that you do each day. I love these opportunities for the City of Los Angeles to get to know the men and women who actually make this city work. I get the joy of working with each one of them, but I'm really glad that all of LA gets to know you as well. Next, I want to turn to a woman who has been a builder her entire life, a builder of affordable housing, a builder of community development, a builder of racial justice, and one who I knew early on in my administration was the right person to serve as the only non-elected official, so the only real person on our Metro board, and that is Jackie DuPont Walker. Having seen the transformative work that she has done as the founding president of the Ward Economic Development Corporation, I knew that she was the right voice to make sure that as we built out a transportation system of the future, we did it thinking about displacement, we did it thinking about affordability, we did it thinking about racial justice, we did it thinking about neighborhood businesses, and she certainly has delivered. So thank you for joining us, Jackie, and let me turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Today, I had planned to celebrate because it represents freedom for my people, Juneteenth. I had planned to call the names of those who were justice warriors over the years, the 26 Black founding families of Los Angeles, Governor Pio Pico, and my dad, King Solomon DuPont. I had planned to tweet regarding the 2020 census, hashtag #MyBlackCounts, and hashtag #MyBlackVoteCounts. I had planned to send texts, Facebook posts, and emails to support the Justice and Policing Act and the demise and repeal of Prop 209. And then at the end of the day, I had planned to have some barbecue, collard greens, cornbread, and red soda water. No, not red soda pop, red soda water. Then I heard from my mayor, Eric Garcetti. He needed to talk to a few of us. Didn't know what was up, but I thought it must be important. Yes, after reflecting on that session, what he had to share was important, and it will be and make a real difference to me, my forebearers, my children, grandchildren, and generations yet unborn. What a burden is lifted as I see a pathway forward that helps to restore my faith in government. Yes, Mayor Eric Garcetti, Mayor of Los Angeles, was almost glowing as he shared a vision for the Office of Racial Equity of the City of Los Angeles. In Executive Order 27, we make the discussion of racial inequity, racism, and ending racism a polite conversation for all of us. God has answered our fervent prayers and pleas. How long we pleaded. Today we hear the answer, not long. There is hope that the workplace will literally and figuratively be lifted into a new paradigm. That change could spread throughout the land and make global impact. And that just wasn't enough. He then announced the new Chief Equity Officer, Brenda Shockley Esquire. Wow! She has walked the talk, she has lived the vision, and she has stayed the course. She comes with life experiences that make the office substantially authentic and unapologetic, and the striving and while evangelizing, yes, evangelizing, convincing those who don't yet get it that the time is now. Thank you, Mayor Garcetti, and your team for the vision that you have given us. We get this. Yes, we may have a few discussions about the whats and whens, but no more about the whys. Today on Juneteenth, you're going down in history as valuing Black lives with the establishment of the Office of Racial Equity at the City of Los Angeles. With joy and anticipation, for the City of Angels. Happy Juneteenth, everyone. Let's make this news the trending message for Juneteenth 2020.
Thank you so much, Jackie, Commissioner DuPont Walker. You are an inspiration, and I hope that you still have a wonderful celebration of the day as well. Finally, I want to introduce another commissioner, Lucky Alexander, who serves on LA's Transgender Advisory Council and is the founder of Invisible Men, a platform for trans men to share their stories and to find resources. And Lucky was part of making history when we became the first large city in America to have a Transgender Advisory Council that is also ensuring that we don't just look at ways to deal with issues that are particular to the transgender community, but that we look for opportunities for transgendered men and women inside the service of our city. And you have certainly led the way. Lucky?
Good morning, and thank you, Mayor Garcetti. Again, my name is Lucky Alexander, and like the mayor said, I'm the founder of Invisible Men, an organization that supports trans men while centering trans men of color, and I'm also the director of workforce development for TransCanWork. It's an organization that assists transgender individuals with employment and provides comprehensive diversity and inclusion training to employers. I'm so very proud to serve on the Mayor's Transgender Advisory Council, where we've been given space to make recommendations to the Mayor's office and the City Council around ways to not only improve the quality of life for transgender Angelenos, and also recommend policy changes to protect and uplift our community. Today, I am here to thank Mayor Garcetti for showing up as an ally to the Black Angelenos of this city. Last week, the Mayor reached out to a group of Black public servants representing many communities across the city to have a conversation. And he asked us, what can I do as mayor to elevate your voices in this critical moment and to be part of the solution in the long term? The mayor listened as we recommended sustainable solutions and expressed our concerns. He also recognized the diversity and intersections that lie within our community. As a Black transgender father raising a Black man, I appreciate the time that he took to actively listen and take action. Today's Executive Director, number 27, shows that the mayor was listening and that he knows that it isn't just time for talk, but time to make real changes. This directive is a very bold and extraordinary step to take our community and receive the equity and honest equality that we deserve. Not only does it address policing, but it also builds on the work that the mayor has done to increase the representation in the offices of City Hall and create much needed transparency. So Mayor Garcetti, thank you for asking us, the Black community, what we need, and thank you for including all of us in this conversation. This is what true leadership looks like. I look forward to the continued conversations to make Los Angeles an even better city, and I will continue to be dedicated to creating change for our community and all of the intersectionalities that I represent on the Mayor's Transgender Advisory Council. And with all of us working together, we can make the city better for each other. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucky. And thank you again to you and to Jackie and to John and to Brenda and to all the commissioners who I wish we had time to go through. I've spent a couple hours in the last week with all of them, but for you to hear the brilliance of folks who have talked about policies, who've talked about reimagining, who have used some of the language that I've used. Kareem Webb, who's one of our airport commissioners, talking about parity, not just equity, the way we have to look at equality and not just fairness. These are the guiding principles, and this is a group project. I appreciate the kind words, but really I want to just give it back to every commissioner that is on this call, every member of our city family and my staff, because this is a group product of a team of people outraged by the present, unaccepting of the inequality, and willing to not only talk about it, but to do something. So let me sign the executive directive that makes this happen. And after that, I'll take some questions. After the questions, I'll also be sure to say all my remarks, as I always do in Spanish too, to make sure all Angelenos know the good news on this Juneteenth. So here we go. And there it is. On this Juneteenth, the history of making sure, and by the way, this is something that will long outlive my time as your mayor, unless a mayor repeals this, which I know she or he won't. This will now live on as the way Los Angeles does business and inspires other cities to do the same. That if you aren't looking for it, you won't see it. If you aren't measuring it, you can't manage it. And if you don't make a commitment to it, you're contributing to the problem. But here in LA, we're going to do the opposite. So thank you so much. Thank you, commissioners. And with that, I think I'm going to open it up to the press for questions that they may have. Let's go ahead and take the first question. Thank you. Dakota Smith, I think, is our first. Go ahead, Dakota. Hopefully we can hear you. We're letting you in. I think you're muted. If Dakota, if you'll just unmute, you're good to go. All right. Are you there, Dakota? You're still, I can see your lips moving, but you're still muted for some reason. Hold on. She's muted on your end. You're unmuted on our end, so there may be something on your computer. The joy of Zoom press conferences. Worst comes to worst, so you can put it in the chat, but I can see you're unmuted on our end, so let's see. Okay, we'll give you a call right now. We'll go to the next question, but we'll call you to make sure we can hear it. Okay, that was it? Okay. Other questions? That's the only question. Now I really want to know what it is. Do you want to type it in, Dakota? All right, I think we lost Dakota. All right, well, with that, let me just wrap up with the commissioners. Thank you, and I want you to own this executive directive. You oversee and influence each one of the 37 departments of the city of Los Angeles. And so it is your mission and now your power to take this directive forward. Every year when I have the reviews of each general manager and chief and executive director of departments, I'll be looking at what they've done that year to advance racial equity and justice inside their department and in our city. Each year, we'll be looking at the baseline studies that we do, whether it's wages, our internal operations, or impacts of our city policies. When we did the gender executive directive, for instance, we found out that girls were about a quarter of all the people participating in group sports through our rec centers. And now we've moved that up to 45% on the way to 50%. So when we see it, we have to say it. When we say it, we have to do something. And so this is for all of you, with all of you, and hopefully it will empower all of you to be able to do the work of making sure Los Angeles leads. So thank you all. It was wonderful to be with you yesterday and last week. And let's meet again soon and follow on. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful Juneteenth. All right. You can tune out or you can stay for Spanish. I'm going to go to Spanish. But don't worry. I know people have busy days. All right. En español yo quiero decir unas palabras muy importantes este día de Juneteenth, una celebración de la libertad y el fin de esclavitud en este país. Hoy estoy firmando una directiva ejecutiva sobre la equidad racial en nuestro gobierno municipal que les pide a los directores generales y a los jefes de departamentos municipales que empiecen a prepararse para la derogación de la proposición 209. Si la es revocada por los votantes de California en el otoño, Los Ángeles podrá poner en marcha políticas y programas de acción afirmativa y estaremos preparados por esta fecha. Si el Senado estatal aprueba ACA5, la próxima semana los votantes de California decidirán en noviembre si nuestros colegios, agencias gubernamentales e instituciones públicas podrán reinstalar la acción afirmativa. Ahora todos los departamentos de la ciudad empiezan el diseño de programas para acción afirmativa, para reclutamiento, contratación entrenamiento y pólizas de personal en todos aspectos de negocio de la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Y cada departamento y oficina de la ciudad asignará un oficial de equidad racial por la primera vez en nuestra historia, que ayudará a desarrollar y supervisar ese plan. Estos planes solo entrarán en vigor con la derogación de la Proposición 209. Y espero que todas las comunidades, no solamente la comunidad afroamericana, pero la comunidad latina también, puedan luchar para esta victoria en otoño. Pero mi acción hoy asegurará que la ciudad de Los Ángeles esté preparada para empezar con la acción afirmativa si la ley del Estado cambia. Tenemos mucho trabajo para corregir las desigualdades arraigadas en nuestra fuerza policial, en nuestras instituciones públicas, nuestras políticas y nuestras comunidades. Si vamos a cumplir con la promesa de justicia racial en Los Ángeles, debemos poner equidad en el centro de nuestras políticas, nuestros programas, nuestras comunidades, nuestras instituciones y nuestra sociedad. Este es el papel de cada de nosotros. Cada estudiante, cada joven, cada persona de tercera edad, cada líder, cada residente, cada angelino debe tener y tomar los pasos concretos a traer un día más justa a la ciudad de Los Ángeles y el país de los Estados Unidos. Y tenemos por la primera vez un oficial, la jefa de justicia racial en la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Y yo tengo mucho orgullo porque es uno de mis vicealcaldes, Brenda Shockley. Y por la primera vez, ella será el líder en todo este trabajo. Y cada departamento tendrá un oficial con parte de una comisión que pueden trabajar muy duro, obtener la justicia que nosotros merecemos. Gracias a todos. Feliz día de Juneteenth. Y con esta acción, finalmente, tomaremos pasos concretos por la justicia racial en Los Ángeles. Muchísimas gracias y ten un buen fin de semana. Thanks, everybody, and have a great weekend. Thanks to all the Spanish fans that stayed on. Much love to all my commissioners, and let's keep on marching forward. Have a great, great, and celebratory day.
Slowing the spread of COVID-19 means making sure that people who are sick don't infect others. If you are positive for COVID-19 or likely positive, please self-isolate to avoid infecting others, including people you live with.
Hi there, I'm here on 41st and Avalon at the Kedron Community Health Center. I've just taken my COVID-19 test and I want to encourage you to do the same. Testing is free here at the Kedron Center. All you have to do is sign up and or walk in. The test is easy and painless. This is a pandemic that we must win. Get your free COVID-19 test. It's free, it's painless, and it can save your life.
One of the most powerful tools we have to slow the spread of COVID-19 is physical distancing. When you're out of your house, please stay at least 6 feet away from all other people and wear a cloth face covering.
The 2020 census is here, and no matter who you are or where you come from, if you live in the United States, you need to fill out the questionnaire and be counted. You have 3 ways to do it: online, over the phone, or by mail. For more information, visit census.lacity.org. El Censo 2020 está aquí y todos necesitamos llenar el cuestionario para obtener la financiación y la representación que merecemos. Es fácil participar en el conteo. Hay 3 formas de hacerlo: en línea, sobre el teléfono o por correo. Para obtener más información sobre el censo, visite nuestro sitio web.
When there are long stretches of road without traffic signals, it can be really dangerous for people walking to cross, even in a marked crosswalk. To help make this situation safer, we use pedestrian-activated flashing beacons. A person who wants to cross the street presses the crosswalk button and activates flashing lights above it. Drivers are up to 81% more likely to slow down for people crossing with a beacon than without. Moving LA forward.
We know that Uber Eats has expanded widely into the major markets since March, since the beginning of the pandemic. I would call that predatory.
We are committed to helping the working poor and the working class communities of the city of Los Angeles. There is an absolute feeling of desperation out there. Many of our constituents are struggling. There are people who were living paycheck to paycheck before the pandemic and now are living day by day. They live in motels, they live in cramped apartments. They are now fighting for their economic survival.
This is good for landlords and good for renters. And their interests, which some people often say are not aligned, are aligned at this moment. It's a win-win. Renters have their rent paid off, landlords have their mortgage covered.
This council has enacted more comprehensive pandemic-related protections than any other city in the state.
Government has a responsibility to rise during moments like this, not shrink.
Look, I know we'd rather be here in a different context. We'd rather be here rooting on the boys in blue, but we'll get back to that soon enough. Every day we're a step closer. And today we want to celebrate